beyond the pandemic, the world has obviously been focused on a racial division and the murder of George Floyd. And coming from soccer in the Premier League, you and your brother have seen and been accustomed to a racism in sports that we don't even necessarily know, at least in public in the United States. I'm wondering if you could speak on that experience that you guys have faced in the past.
Honestly, like, yeah, growing up, you get it. But it's something that isn't right, even when I say this now, that you learn to just live with and deal with. I'm not going to say I've been abused in every game I've played. But yeah, it's been about. But even now when I see, just to quickly go off, like even now when I see everyone like coming together, I like it, but I don't like where it's going to, where it's almost like a trend now, and like, you know, it just feels like a lot of sheep. I've always been on the side of like, if I can make some real change, or if people can make some real change, let's do that. Let's come together and make a real change. But this is not a secret. This has been in the game or just in life for hundreds of years. So I'm just not down with what's going on at the moment with just everyone just posting a black picture. Mm-hmm. Do you know where I'm going with this almost? You know what I'm saying? I just want some real change, or I don't want nothing. Don't pretend. Please don't pretend to me. Don't try and this ain't at you, by the way. So I don't need sympathy. Like, I just want real change, or please don't come to me with anything. I want to work on something now with a few players where I can, you know, where I can make some real change or just open some eyes in a different way. At the moment now, just what I'm seeing is just annoying. Some things are just annoying because this isn't new.
Yeah, it's a little weird to have people say, "Hey, don't kill us." You know, the police are killing us, and the response is, "Let's make sure that no white people do the voices to black characters in cartoons." It just seems
right?
like a very strange connection, because it's like, well, the stakes are so much higher than those things, and
higher than this, exactly.
Yeah, and I guess maybe as someone who watched soccer, kind of. From the side eye, I'm not a super fan. I love researching it more than anything else. Watching real sports, there was a segment years ago that was very famous here in the States where it was the first time I had seen the throwing of bananas or the chants or the things that just, to me, were mind-blowing. Even living in a country that I know has systematic racism, to see it so public, and the anti-Semitism in soccer, those things were so damaging to watch that I almost thought to myself, and I know your brother's talked about his experience where he felt he couldn't leave the field, he couldn't leave the pitch. And is that, I mean, obviously in MLS, it's probably a lot, I hate to say hidden.
Yeah, you won't get that.
Yeah, but was that maybe part of why you may not have felt as comfortable there?
Whom?
You, yeah. I mean, you know, you play in the Premier League, you come to MLS, and you really thrive, and you beyond anyone's expectations. And I wonder, so much about jobs, not even just sports, but so much about jobs is about being comfortable. And I wonder how much it meant to you to come to a place where that crazy stuff wasn't happening.
Yeah, and you know what? At the time, there was a lot of things that were pissing me off or getting on my nerves. You know, just how football is in England. There's a lot of things, some my own doing, and just somehow things work, you know, how things were set up, you know, very old school in the ways of the coaching, how people fought. And now you ask me that, there was a little bit of those things, but I wasn't thinking, honestly, that black and white to where like it's racist here or along those lines and I have to leave. But there's a lot of things that I didn't like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's just such a tricky conversation, and because it's been happening so long, and I just don't know how to change certain things. I honestly think that our generation or whatever, I'm not sure your age, but we're just a lost cause. I don't want to sound like I'm giving up, but I think like just in your household, make sure your kids are raised right. Your neighbor, you know, do you know what I'm saying? I think almost this period we're in, like even everyone that's like with the movement, it's good. Yeah, it's good to see there's some unity, but I think it's almost a lost cause. I honestly do. I think the kids have got to, you know, be taught different ways. And from there, and so on. Even now, my words are like jumbled because it frustrates me to even talk about some things because I'm just like, nothing will be done about this. So it's just kind of frustrating. But that isn't why I left England. It wasn't just that black and white. That's not why I left England. But yeah, there's some bullshit that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 1-year-old, and my wife and I have focused on the idea that we think it's 20, we say about 25 and under. I'm 40.
Yeah.
So we just have hope for them. I mean, I had read Ian Desmond's Instagram post last week that he did about baseball and the systematic kind of racial bias in the league. And it felt so heavy that, like you said, it's like, oh, I don't think there's anything, as sad as it sounds, we almost have to start over by saying, oh, we're the idiots. Don't worry about us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like a lost cause. That's what I'm trying to say. I think, yeah, we can do what we can now, but I think our vision has just got to be for the kids, for our children, and that's it. Because you're not going to change how I'm not even saying he's a racist or whatever, but you're not going to change how Donald Trump thinks. You're not going to change how the CEO of or wherever a multi-million-dollar company thinks. You're not going to change that, you know. So yeah, it's just a tough one.
Yeah.
And black people for a long time have learned to live with. Some people have learned to live with. That's not right either, but you learn to live with it, or you. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. Honestly, you can hear by how I'm talking. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I just think, yeah, it's almost until we're teaching the kids the right way to live, the right way to think, and so on. It's, yeah, I think we're just a lost cause.
Have you been impressed at all by what the Premier League has done so far? Or does it just feel symbolically gesture based?
Yeah, it's nice to see. It seems like, you know, when you're just watching it or you see a picture of it, yeah, it looks nice. But how many of those people actually care?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many people that are kneeling? Again, don't mince my words. This looks good. It shows unity. It shows that it's being thought about. But how many people kneeling or how many people wearing Black Lives Matter on the back of their shirt actually care? Like how many give a shit? Because I can come off here now, or you can off this phone call and post something, post a nice picture with the nicest words, and you could be just lying. I've seen people go to riots, take a picture, or riots, I shouldn't even say that, protest, take a picture and get back in the car and go home. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it looks good, but I don't know if it's coming from your heart and it's real and it bothers you and you're in bed at night, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if it don't, just don't get involved. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah, I guess that's just do what you've been doing the last 70 years, 100 years.
Yeah, because you've seen this. Because let's be honest, it's only a few, when was it? Maybe last season or most seasons. There's players getting racial abuse in Italy, and the manager and the teammates are saying they shouldn't have walked off the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This happens.
Yeah.
You think you're changing all how the way those fans think by putting everyone kneeling. You're not going to change. I like the way we're doing that. I like the way if people are interested in it, if people have a real passion for it, you're showing unity. But I don't know if that's what changes those set of fans, or that's what changes the CEO at so-and-so. I don't know if that's what changes their minds.
Yeah.
Do you understand my point?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess it's even hard for me because I want to ask you, do you see protesting or acts of like social justice awareness during this tournament coming up? But like it's like, what is that going to actually do? And it's true that we should all do something because it's a great metric. We should obviously see it, and kids like mine and yours should see these things because it's important. But what is really going to change if someone does something in a soccer game or in a baseball game or a football game? It truly is about, and I think that's what a lot of athletes are facing when they're asked to go back right now. We've seen it with guys like Avery Bradley in the NBA and Ian Desmond in baseball. Like, this is a question everyone is asking, and there's no wrong answer, but it's difficult.
Yeah. If you really care what I think, don't judge me if I don't turn up to football because I'm hurt about this. Don't judge. Yeah, do you know, like a basketball player, then I don't want to play right now. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're going to a camp as well. If you really care, then you know what I mean? Let's let people do what they want to do. Not, okay, come, but we'll all kneel. Okay, we'll come back, but yeah, we'll all have Black Lives Matter on it. Okay, that looks good. You've covered your back. Premier League or MLS or whatever. You look like you care. But what about the people that don't? There might be people still affected from this and don't want to go to work, don't want to work, don't want to play sport right now. They might want to do something to make a real change.
Yeah.
These people don't care. That's what I think anyway. They don't care. And
also, I guess a big thing too is, what about in 6 months? What about in a year?
It will go. It will go.
That's the burnout. Yeah, they'll be gone.
It will go. And this is my beginning point about if it's a trend. It's a trend. If you go on my Instagram, you won't see any of the following things. I know what I think. I know how I feel. I've felt like this for years. But it's a trend. Soon something else will happen and this will be gone. This will be gone.